20 laugh out loud notes left by parents for their kids. There's no getting around it. Parenting is often serious business. After all, kids can get up to all sorts of mischief. That's why it's important that there's a parental figure there to steer them in the right direction. Every now and then, though, moms and dads need to see the funny side, even when their kids don't. These hilarious notes then prove that parents have a sense of humor too. Somehow, we don't think this guy's kids will be leaving a messy kitchen behind anytime soon. After all, it's one thing being threatened with having your internet access revoked, but it's another thing entirely when that threat comes from Liam Neeson's character in Taken, because that guy is scary as hell. Another classic hashtag dad fact. This one joins the ranks of the TV only works when it rains and Santa prefers Doritos and beer to milk and cookies. Once we're grown up, it all seems so obvious, but at a young and impressionable age, you can't blame a kid for worrying about unicorns. We feel like there's some kind of hidden message here, perhaps a thinly veiled hint that the recipient of this message is supposed to take from this note, from someone called Diesel. Alas, we just can't figure it out, so we guess we'll have to ignore it if it had only been cleaner. Well, that's one way to warn someone about the dangers of dryer lint, and since the note comes from an actual firefighter, we have a feeling their child will take it very seriously indeed, even if it is hilarious. It's safe to say that this dad tried his best, and really, what more could you ask for? Even if he does somehow confuse the game The Legend of Zelda with the movie Toy Story, and then assumes that the aim of the game is to fight Zelda, at least he's taking an interest. There's nothing like an overt threat to make sure your kids behave, and signing it off with a heart doesn't change that. Indeed, sometimes you need a little dark humor to get your message across. Let's just hope this mom's kids share her twisted sense of fun. Apparently, this kid claimed to be too mature for lunchbox messages. However, they clearly didn't account for the ingenuity of their mom, who dreamt up a convenient workaround. And they can't complain as the napkin says it really isn't a note. If anybody else received this note, they might have wondered why they need to order pizza if they had meatloaf waiting for them. Unless, of course, their cat was also called Meatloaf, as was the case here. Frankly, we're just surprised that the Moggy didn't tear the cash to shreds. We wouldn't want to question these parents' true motivations for not wanting to be disturbed, but you do have to agree that they've really thought of everything. Clearly, this isn't their first rodeo. The best part? It apparently worked like a charm. We have a feeling this unassuming dad won't be borrowing toothpaste from his daughter again anytime soon. Still, at least he's able to laugh about it, because we're not sure we'd have the same reaction if we accidentally used Vagisil instead of toothpaste. This is evidently a note from a man who's come home to an unplugged fish tank one time too many. Indeed, it's no wonder that his patience is worn thin. The poor man has clearly been a dad for a while and heard every excuse that his sons can imagine. Yes, this is what happens when you leave dangerous tools lying around in your parents' home. Of course, we're not sure why a murderer wouldn't just bring a weapon with them, but far be it from us to question dad logic. And to be fair, it definitely gets the point across. The funniest part about this note, both mother and child are atheists, but if anything can make the staunchest non-believer turn to faith, it's a trip to the supermarket. Not because they're heavenly, of course, but because a few minutes in Walmart can cause anyone to question their beliefs. It's said that many artists go unappreciated in their time, and this dad probably knows how that feels. After all, while his daughter loves his Futurama-inspired school lunch notes, apparently none of her friends get it. Clearly, they just need to watch more TV. You can just imagine this poor kid's stomach dropping upon finding this note. Indeed, it's an absolutely hilarious move from mom. Rather than confronting her child about their smoking habits, she lulled them into a false sense of security. That is, until the very last moment. Genius. Well, that's one way to make sure your kids do their chores. Yes, the internet really has made life easier for parents. Indeed, rather than taking away their toys or game consoles, as an incentive, all you have to do nowadays is change the Wi-Fi password. Clearly, this parent knows exactly what level to pitch their instructions at. And yet, just imagine if everything in life had such clear directions as this washing machine. Sure, it might be like going through life with stabilizers on your bike, but it would definitely make things easier. Somehow we doubt the recipient of this note would have appreciated their mother's love more than the prospect of snacks. Nevertheless, it is an important lesson for them to learn. Life isn't always going to go the way you want it to. A threat delivered with a smile is still a threat. These kids then better take their mom seriously. After all, she's just spent a day cleaning up the kitchen. So you really can't blame her for the venom in her note. How else is she going to get her message across? Yes, it's not just parents who leave funny notes. Indeed, sometimes it's the offspring's response that will have you in fits of laughter. Just take this kid for example, who has the perfect comeback to his dad's misspelling of handle. Neither a composer nor a microwave user be. Check out these other videos from Let Me Know. If you haven't made the move to subscribe to our channel, all you need to do is click on that red subscribe button. Thank you for watching.